Welcome back, you guys. This is Mark with NCEngravers, and today we're going to be working on a Glock 43x. Now, interesting build. We've got a slide, a frame. There's a lot of extra little pieces to this puzzle. I thought I would take you guys through it. Let's talk about that. We're going to end up doing the top wave cut on a 43x. Now, I know you've probably seen this on a 19, 17, maybe even some of the longer, like a 34 or a 21, but today we're going to be running it on the 43x. What this is the top wave comes in at an angle, it crosses over the top, and it comes back out at an angle. Of course, it's repeating, so it'll be 1, 2, and 3 on the top. We'll be able to see some barrel there. On the sides, we're going to do a side shave, some simulated windows, so all of this text is going to come off. We're going to end up doing 2 real windows here. Of course, there'll be a step down, 2 windows here. We will not go into this zone with this exact design. And then the last thing that we're going to be doing is modifying the optic socket so the optic sits a little bit lower and we get a full co-witness. Guys, I want to talk to you about that momentarily here. If you happen to have owned a 43x MOS or a 48, you realize that your optic doesn't mount to the slide without using a plate system or without modifying the slide. I want to briefly go into both of those setups. There's absolutely nothing wrong with getting a plate, mounting your optic on it that way. The downside is, one, you're paying for a plate. Usually these are somewhere between $45 and $70, depends on what you buy. And then you're upgrading your iron sights because they don't work anymore, right? So the other option is you could cut the slide to where the optic will go mount directly to the slide. It will be set low enough to where your factory sights or any other iron sight that is factory height will co-witness. So you're saving the money by not replacing your iron sights. If you don't want to do it now, you want to do it later, right? You could have your slide cut and recolored, and then at the end of the day, you're not paying extra money for your iron sights, or if you provide them, we'll put them in. So there are 2 different directions you can go. You can go with a plate system, or you can go with a cut down and keep the factory sights and change your color all at the same time. So lots of different options. So guys, that's what it's going to basically be for the slide work. Let's set this guy down. We've got some extra pieces to this. First of all, we've got, once again, a lot of extra pieces. We're going to be seeing black on the slide, and then we're going to be seeing some coloring on some of these other pieces. We have a PMM comp and barrel. That's going to be done in burnt bronze. We've got a magwell, a trigger, mag extension, rear cap. I'm not sure what we're doing with the rear cap coloring yet. We've got a new mag release from Shield. We've got another extension, and then of course we got another one here. So we've got all kinds of parts here. We're going to be doing pins and takedown and release components. Those are all going to go into a burnt bronze color. So we're really looking for that black and burnt bronze 2-tone style visualization overall. That's kind of what we're after. Guys, at this point, I think what we want to do is we want to get into the cut work. So we're going to get this thing taken down. We're going to get over to the CNC machine. Let's get that top wave done, the side windows done. Let's modify these pegs. Then we're going to jump into coloring. We're going to bring it back. Let's take a look and see exactly how it came out. Alright guys, now that we are back together, the cut work's been completed, everything's been colored. Let's briefly talk about the work. I've got some notes that I want to touch base on with this build. So let's go over that. First and foremost, the optic has been cut down into the slide so no plate is needed. The rear pegs have been removed and the front pegs have been shortened, allowing for a full co-witness that will work with either factory height sights or aftermarket sights that are still factory height. You don't have to go into anything crazy tall in order to get this to work. Excuse me. I don't believe we're going to be able to see a full co-witness on this camera the way that it's set up. I just don't think we're going to probably be able to see that all that amazing. However, you're going to have to take my word on that. It does work, and as you can see, it is a little bit taller. I'm not 100% sure if these are factory height or a little bit taller, but that is kind of what it looks like on this exact build. We shaved the sides. We did some recessed windows here. Simulated windows, rather. Actual windows, we did the same thing up here in the front, so we're able to see some barrel. We ended up doing the top wave cut, which goes from left to right, as we had discussed. It's got a little bit of oil on it right now, and that's mostly because we coated the barrel. I want to make sure everything slides, everything wears, everything kind of just blends together with all of these new coated surfaces. slide, barrel. Of course, we got a lot of small parts here. We just want to make sure everything is wearing appropriately. With that being said, guys, we've got a couple other pieces to this puzzle. We've got a mag for those of you that are empty inside. There's no ammo in here. I know you you really care for my safety. With that being said, we do have another one because we ended up doing more than one. This is also empty inside. I know you'll be able to sleep better at night knowing that. So, with that being said, guys, this is a kind of a full view of what it looks like. Of course, I'm working behind the camera. We're only going to get such a great angle. I have filmed with my iPhone, and towards the end of this video, I'll include that so you can see that a little bit better in a different setting. And then, of course, some of the other pieces that have been upgraded. We ended up getting this new shield release put in. We ended up changing the color of the upgraded trigger shoe that was on here. So that's a nice setup. Factory. So those are all just end up being colored pieces. Of course, those can be done on your weapon if you don't want to change any of those out. Magwell. So we ended up going with that. Really nice overall. It's a nice setup. I like the way that it looks. It's a really nice flowing piece. Really like the way that this came out. Guys, with that being said, I just want to say thanks to each and every one of you that supported our business throughout the 2022 year. We had an absolute ton of projects go on. We've had a lot of changes internally for us, just as far as, our business growth, how are we doing the webpage, what's going on with the webpage, what services are going to be on there, what's going to be taken off there. There's been a lot of changes in 22. I do think we're going to see a lot of changes in 23. If everything goes according to plan, hopefully we'll be out of this facility and into another one. So we've got some big boxes on our checklist that we're attempting to get through in 23. I don't know if those are going to happen. They are very large hurdles to overcome. We're going to see exactly what happens with that. Once again, I do appreciate each and every one of you. Everything down to the comments, to the reviews, to, of course, to the orders, supporting the business, sharing the word of our business. Even if you don't have anything, a project to have done through us or haven't had anything done through us, you can always support our business if you like the business by sharing the videos, by telling people, by just recommending. Obviously people are able to do their own homework. They can go and do the YouTube reviews or watch those YouTube videos, right? But by word of mouth and you planting a seed allows them to be pointed in the right direction. And then, of course, they can take it from there however they see fit. So for that, we do thank you. It's been a very good year for us, as far as the business goes. Businesses are tough nowadays as far as how the economy's been since 2020, 21, and of course 22. Everything's kind of really weird, sort of, if that's the best way to say that, with just the way that over the last couple of years stuff has been shut down. New rulings have come into place on different things, even in the firearm industry. So it just ends up being a really tough market all the way around. I don't think it's just the firearm industry. I think it's just generally speaking. And I do believe that each and every one of you have helped assist with us still heading in the right direction with the business, still growing a business, and we haven't really topped out as far as where we want to be, what we offer. We haven't really topped out facility-wise because we need to get into our own. And that just means that we're still headed up, right? So every business seems to climb, or every small business, I should say, seems to climb to the top, and eventually they fall off, and either they stable or they head down, right? And usually we see that over the course of a couple of years. As a business, we've been doing this, for the public since about 2017. Hit it pretty hard in 18. Went crazy. Honestly, went crazy in 2020, and then it's been crazy ever since there. So we're still heading up as far as a growing business, and we do appreciate that. Guys, if you have any comments, questions, concerns, feel free to email us. You can ask a question on the video. We'll do our best to get back to you. But really, the videos, we don't touch base a lot on when it comes to questions. They are a lot of specialized questions. We see a lot of stuff. Hey, do you work on this gun? Hey, do you work on that gun? And it really doesn't have anything to do with the project at hand. So we would recommend that you go to our webpage, NCEngravers.com. You do use that contacts tab. You fill out the form, or shoot us an email direct. It's just service@NCEngravers.com. That gives us an opportunity to review your request, go through it, see what's going on, and kind of just make those better, give you those better answers and make those better decisions as far as what's going on with you. So this is a shield. This is a regular shield, base plate. No mag extension. It's just kind of a cap on the end there. It's still a pretty clean look. I still like it. Right? It still looks really good. So, guys, yeah, with that being said, we do appreciate it. If there's anything that you need, feel free to let us know. We are going to try to get more so into the YouTube, video build stuff in 23. Like I said, it's just going to be a tough year with trying to move and things like that. So we're going to do our best to make that happen. I would always recommend that you follow us on Instagram, you follow us on Facebook. If you can, those two accounts are just straight up wide open. If you do not have an account, if you use a computer, Facebook, you can get into it with your phone, I think, even without downloading the app. But if you are on a computer and you don't want to use your phone for Instagram because it'll keep asking you to download the app, you are able to go to our Instagram from a computer and view all of our stuff. You can't comment, but you can see all the pictures. And once again, for your information, if you didn't know, everything that's posted on Instagram gets secondly posted or duplicate posted over onto our Facebook, which is wide open. So you are able to go over there and see what's kind of going on over there without having an account on either one of those. We would recommend that you ask any questions that you may have, and we will do our absolute best to answer them. Guys, finish up 22 with the time of your life, right? You got a little bit more time here, and then roll into 23 like you own it, and we'll see what happens.